If you ever made a cutting board and added a juice groove to it, you know the pain of sanding those sharp edges. And because we make thousands of cutting boards in this shop, that single sharp edge is a massive problem. Eventually, we realized the fix wasn't just sanding more, it was actually the bit itself. Let me show you what I mean. So traditionally, most people use a round nose bit just like this to put a juice groove or a blood trench in a cutting board. And the problem with these round nose bits, and this is what we have used for years prior to creating a new one, is they leave a really sharp edge, kind of like this. And so whenever you're cutting, you have this little edge right here. And whenever you have a cutting board with that juice groove, you have to sand it down. And it really does take a toll on our sanders, takes a toll on our fingers, and quite frankly, just a pain in the butt, especially when we do thousands of these. And so the most common sense thing to do is to eliminate this edge. So you don't have to go in there and, sand it down from time to time, right? And so we did do different jigs to try to fight that edge issue. We've tried 3D printed ones, we've tried making little ones out of wood, and the best solution that we have found is literally just a rubber gasket, 1/2 inch, 3/8 of an inch, and we just wrap it in sandpaper and sand it down. Pretty simple. And we did that for years. But I like to solve problems. And so we tried to figure out a way to just eliminate that edge because it was cutting a lot of our guys' hands. The good news was we found a solution. And if you Google search juice groove bit, you're gonna find bits that kind of look like this. And what they do is just what we want them to do. They cut and they eliminate that sharp edge. Just like so, right? They're now eliminating that sharp edge. And typically these could be an 1/8 inch radius, a 16th radius, right? There's a whole bunch of different ones to do. And that really did solve the problem. That is until you make different size cutting boards. And since we make little ones and big ones and long ones and thick ones and skinny ones and fat ones and big ones and whack ones, right? A little Dr. Seuss thing there. Because we do different depths of juice grooves, this bit becomes useless on, let's say, a kitchen size whenever we bought it for a compact size. And so what happens is you go a little bit deeper because you need a deeper juice groove, or a little bit wider, and you get this little notch right here. And that comes from the shoulder of that bit going into the juice groove, right? Going into the wood. And that's a really big problem. And that's probably why companies that sell these bits sell them in 3-packs, because they want you to buy more bits, is my guess. And in our shop, we don't need a unitask bit that can only do one thing. And so even though it eliminated that problem right there by putting that shoulder on it, it introduced a new problem of now we have to have one that can go at varying depths and not create this little indent right here. So that's what we set out to do, and that is what the new bit we're calling the Groovemaster does. So let me hop on over to the studio so it's not so loud in here and show you exactly what that bit does and how it fixed this problem right here. All right, now we're back in the studio where there's complete silence, other than a couple baby goats over there and a couple chickens over there. And here in a second, we're gonna be using this Groovemaster bit, well, not this one, but the actual bit, to cut a juice groove into this canary wood ingrain panel right here. If you want exclusive access to some of these limited run panels that we do, you do need to be a part of our VIP club. And what that club is we pretty much send you a text whenever we have new bit launches, new material launches like this, and most people never see them because they're sold out in like 48 hours. So I'll leave a link down below in the description if you want to sign up for that. If not, no big deal. All right, so what the heck is the Groovemaster bit? This one right here. Well, what it does is it eliminates what we were trying to eliminate and fixes both problems, right? The first problem was the sharp edge, which it's going to eliminate, and the second problem was the multiple depths, of the other bit that you have to buy a 3-pack of, you always get this little lip. So what I simply did, huge groundbreaking thing, was I put a chamfer on it. That's it, a simple chamfer. And so now you just 45 whatever that typical ball nose bit would do. And that fixes a ton of different problems, like a lot of problems. For instance, this bit can now go at different depths. And so whenever we're using it, let's say on a kitchen size cutting board, we need to do a 0.20 depth of cut on our juice groove. And what that 0.20 juice groove is going to do is going to chamfer that little edge right here. But now let's say we have a 2 foot by 1 foot, a big barbecue size cutting board, and we need a 3/4 inch wide juice groove. Well, all we have to do now is just go down deeper. And so now this bit just goes down a little bit deeper. It has a wider juice groove. It's cutting that edge. Now you still have a little edge right there, but it's well within the groove. And so it's like really cool. And so traditionally we would just go deeper with this round nose bit, right? And deeper and deeper and deeper. And then that's a really big pain in the butt to sand, right? And then these, you have to buy the 3-pack of them, which is a huge pain in the butt to be switching out bits on your CNC, and for us on our industrial CNCs, right? And if you're off just a little bit, I just want to emphasize this, whether you're using a hand router or a CNC, you know how much of a pain in the butt it is to sand down like a 30-second on an in-grain cutting board? Like it's not fun. And so we eliminated that problem too. So yeah, all we simply did was put a chamfer on a round nose bit. So let me show you what that looks like on a spire, how I program it in, and then we'll use it on this canary wood panel to show you exactly what that looks like in real time. So here are the 3 bits we've been talking about, and I want to show you in real time what this kind of looks like and what we went through. So a shoulder bit works really well if you go down the right distance, right? You get a beautiful, nice juice groove like this. But whenever you go down just a little bit past it, or not enough, you end up with something like that, right? And I've done this plenty of times. And so what we've done is, let's just say you run the Groovemaster bit a 1/4 inch deep. You're gonna get this nice chamfered edge like that. Now, is it as awesome as this beautiful shouldered edge? Maybe, maybe not, but it really, really works well. Now, if I go a little bit deeper, let's say 0.32 inches deep, then we just have a bigger bevel. But if we only go down 0.1875 inches, we don't get any of that bevel, right? So at 0.1875 inches, you only get the tip of this bit. So from there to the bottom of the bit right here, this is 0.1875 inches. Once you get past that, you start to get that chamfer. And at 0.32 inches deep, you get a really big chamfer. And what's interesting is that this width right here is a 3/4 inch wide juice groove. And so the deeper you go, the wider the juice groove. Now, I will have the Groovemaster bit updated in the tool database for Vectric. You can download any of our tool libraries on the Download Tool Libraries button on CIC Workshop. And I'll also have helpful photos on the listing on CIC Workshop as well. So what I'd like to do now is show you these 3 different cut depths in that canary wood cutting board so you see exactly what I'm talking about. So the Groovemaster bit is in, and whenever I run juice grooves on cutting boards, I like to use a center origin. If you do a corner origin and the cutting board is a little bit off from your measurements, then you have like a lopsided juice groove. So at least if you do it in the middle and you're off, you know, it's gonna be shorter on both sides instead of on one side. So we're going to do 3 different passes. The first one's going to be 0.15 inches deep, then we'll go a 1/4 inch, then we'll go 0.32 to show you how all the different depths look. right, I do want to mention that I'm doing this in one pass. Do it in 2 passes. That's a lot of meat and it's on end grain. Don't do that. Do it in 2 passes. Take the extra minute. My mistake. So this is what a 0.15 inch deep juice groove looks like. You don't have any chamfering and it's a nice, simple juice groove on a cutting board. Now my advice as well is to do 2 passes instead of 1. When you're doing this juice groove, that's going to leave a lot cleaner bottom and be a lot less scary. So be sure to try to do 2 passes instead of 1 like I just did. It was a little hairy. All right, so next is going to go down 0.25 inches deep. This 1/4 inch deep juice groove is the one that I like the best because it gives you this kind of a profile right here. The width at the top is about 5/8 of an inch, so 0.625 inches. You got about a 1/16 of a chamfer right here and obviously a 1/4 inch deep. So it looks really, really good. Here is a couple shots of it. Now before we do the last depth of cut, I want to show you how to program Juice Groove Bit cut depths because you can't just do 2 passes and have 1 pass take off an 1/8 inch and the other pass take off an 1/8 inch. That's going to result in not a very good cut quality. So let me show you how to do that and then we'll come back and go down 0.32 inches. And what that's going to do is going to yield us a 0.75 inch wide juice groove. I would not typically do it on a cutting board like this. This one's the perfect depth. But just to show you what a 3/4 inch wide juice groove looks like on a board like this. So to illustrate this point, let me show you this example. So these blocks right here are a 1/16 of an inch thick. And as our bit goes down, the first 1/16 of an inch, it's not taking off too much material. But as it goes deeper, and let's say it takes down 3/16 of an inch, look how much more material that bit is having to eat away. And so what you have to do in this scenario is to account for that. Because let's just say it goes down 5/16 of an inch in 2 passes, okay? What this is gonna look like is the first pass going down about right there and taking off only about that much meat. But that second pass, you see all of this area that bit is having to eat off material at, and you only have a 1/4 inch shank. And so what you need to do is account for that in your tool paths. So this is the juice groove that we're about to cut into the cutting board. And how I do my juice grooves is I do an inset rectangle, I round the edges, and then I run a profile on the line. Rather simple, and I do a simple ramp. But how you want to edit your passes is you just want to make sure that last pass thickness is not so big. You can go 0.03, you can go 0.01 for a nice finish pass, but let's say we set it at 0.03 inches, right? Now what that's going to do, and we're going to add another pass in here, now what that's going to do is allow it to go down, and when it takes off the most amount of material, it's not going to go down 0.06 inches or 0.08 inches and have a whole bunch of chatter. So that's just something to look at whenever you're running these. So do not be afraid to take off less as you go deeper, because the deeper you go, the more wood that bit is starting to try to eat, and the shallower the pass depth needs to be in order for you to have a nice clean finish. So realistically, this should actually probably look a lot like this right here. First pass is going down like that, then the second pass is taking off that much, and then the third pass is taking off just a little bit because that is a lot of surface area. Hope that makes sense. Now, back to the cutting board. So even though that 0.32 inch depth of cut, in my opinion, is a little bit deep for a cutting board this size, it did yield that 3/4 inch wide juice groove, and this bit does travel well down it. Really cool. Now, is this bit the most perfect bit ever? It's perfect for us in our shop. And if it's not perfect for you, I would like to know why it isn't, so I can maybe tweak it better for hobbyists or for hand routers. So definitely let me know that in the comments down below, because it really has revolutionized our sanding time and how we do our cutting boards. And we do have a limited number available. I don't have a ton at the time of this video because I really didn't plan on even making this video. But here we are. So I hope you left this video with more knowledge than when you started. And as always, guys, remember, if you ain't cutting it close, you ain't cutting it right.